are either along or east of us, and the heaviest rain will be east of the actual track of that low. So that said, Galveston, on toward Lake Charles, on toward Cameron, Louisiana, going to see some of the higher rainfall potential. And then even on Saturday, there could be some heavy rain, but it is likely to stay to our east for the most part. So how much rain could we get? If you're lucky, we'll go with a 20% chance tomorrow and the following day, but there could be a foot of rain in Louisiana in contrast. So in the morning, we stay dry, all the rain to our south and east. In the afternoon, there's your lonely chance, and we'll do that all over again Saturday. If you don't get rain either tomorrow afternoon or Saturday afternoon, sorry folks, triple digits through the 4th of July and beyond. We'll be right back. We have now officially, since it's the last day of the month, reached our warmest June on record ever. 2022. 87.7 degrees average temperature. 2008, number 2. And in case you're wondering if June was warm and if May was also a record warm, what could July bring? Well, I thought I'd share with you this graphic. Percent of July is warmer than June. If you look at Central Texas, you're going to find that orange. The orange corresponds to 90 to 95% chance that our July will be warmer than June. June set a record. July probably going to do the same if things all continue the way that they have been, unfortunately. 86 degrees outside right now in Austin. It's 82 in Thorndale, 82 in LaGrange. And despite the fact that, yes, there's a tropical disturbance that's going to bring potential flooding rain to parts of the Lone Star State, it wouldn't shock me if our rainfall total ends up being nothing at all. So as we track the tropics, we're going to be on the hot, dry side of this tropical low, which it is 12:19, and we've got some friends. Aw, we got both of them. Yay, it's been a while since we've had both friends. So we've got Ewok, and we've got Skippy. Yes, it's a party over here. Hope you guys are doing well. And since I got the kiddos here, I should also say, please make sure with the heat that is upon us that you remember your pets when it comes to heat safety as well. Laura, hello. Jerry, what's going on? Okay, let's get to it. This is actually going to be pretty quick, only because it looks less and less likely that we'll see much, if anything, from the tropical system in the Gulf. The heavy rain's going to likely be pushing into southeast Texas and Louisiana. And so honestly, we've got very, very low chances, a 20% chance, mainly Friday afternoon and evening, and a small 20% chance Saturday afternoon and evening for some isolated showers and storms. Aries, hello to you, says hi to us, the pups too. But really, it's not looking good for us for rain. If we do see a little bit of extra cloud cover in the afternoons, both tomorrow as well as Saturday, when I say tomorrow, I mean Friday, then that might be the one thing that keeps us below triple digits. We've seen 99 for the last 2 days for high temperatures. Bob in Galveston, what's it like? Describe it to us. Is it a little windy? I know about 1.5 inches of rain fell earlier. You guys been in a lull since then? Kevin, how you doing? Laura says, you're glad you won't miss rain for while you're in Dallas. Aha! But you do wish we'd get it then. Just a little PSA for you if you're ever curious about what the weather's doing. Maybe you're on the go. You can download our CBS Austin weather app. It's handy, and you can track weather wherever you happen to be. All right, let's check in on current conditions across the area. I actually think it feels pretty good outside right now. When I was walking out to my car from the station, it felt pretty good. Bob says it's boring in Galveston. Well, that doesn't sound too promising. Maybe you can enjoy some lovely beach views. It is 81 degrees as we speak in Austin at 12:21, 78 in LaGrange, 83 degrees meanwhile in Mason. Widening out the view, 75 in Corpus, 76 Houston, 80 degrees in Amarillo, and up to the north, 70s all the way into Minnesota, 65 in Seattle, 56 in San Francisco. All right, yesterday there was a little bit of smoke showing up. I have a feeling there is some smoke here, but it's just not actually plotting on the map, probably because it's after midnight. As for dust, dust is one of the things that will inhibit tropical development, and we've been dust free. Despite that, the system in the Gulf just hasn't been in a hurry to intensify. Hurricane hunters looked at it yesterday, looked at it again today, and said, nope, not organized enough to call it a depression, so it's just still a tropical wave, a tropical low. As we head into midweek, there's going to be a little bit of light Saharan dust pushing into South Texas. And as I zoom out a little bit more, you can see a plume of some light to moderate smoke that will be pushing, not smoke, dust that will be pushing through the Caribbean. And then meanwhile, we see a much heavier plume of dust that will be exiting from the Sahara Desert and pushing off from east to west across the African coast and into the central Atlantic. Keeping in mind that will inhibit tropical development. But at least now, there really isn't any Saharan dust in the areas that we're watching. Okay, so showed you what the dust is doing. We will take a closer look at the tropics as well as future Bonnie in just a moment. Temperature-wise, we hit 99 at Camp Mabry and 96 at the airport. Worth noting, the drought monitor came out, and we did have that substantial rain on Monday. The biggest change was Burnett, right here where I'm circling, saw some pockets of 3 inches of rain, which was enough to improve that small sliver of Burnett County from extreme drought to severe. On the other hand, Milam County a week ago still had some abnormally dry. That has now been replaced by moderate drought. So really, despite the fact that we had some rain, there's been very little, if anything, in the way of improvement. And tracking the rain, now as we've officially made it through the entire month of June, we ended the month with a deficit of over an inch at Camp Mabry and over 2 inches at the airport. Let's see, Jerry says, you're the best doing this. Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate it. Feel free to watch the actual news. My boss would probably say, wait a second, if this is keeping people from watch TV. But no, I'm glad you enjoy it. Laura says, will a potential tropical cyclone 2 actually make it to become Bonnie? You know what? I think it will, only because now it's over the open waters of the Caribbean. And before then, it's been kind of interacting with land on the northern edge of South America, Venezuela, and then Colombia. We'll take a look at it as well. But I do think before it makes it into Central America, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica, I think it probably will bump up and become Tropical Storm Bonnie. All right, allergy report, mold was high the last couple of days. It had dropped to moderate. Grass was moderate, trees and pigweed, both in the low range. Air quality, initially I thought Friday would be good. Well, it's going to be moderate, but currently the forecast for Saturday and Sunday is for the air quality to be good. So that's good news for those of you who will be out and about enjoying July 4th weekend. Danny Smith, what's going on? Thanks for checking in. Air quality currently, by the way, is in the moderate range. All right, drum roll, please. Not much suspense here. Officially, we have now seen the warmest June on record, or should I say hottest, on the heels of the hottest May on record. So that is 2 consecutive months where we have had the hottest average temperatures, which is taking every single day the highs and the lows and averaging those out. 87.7 was our average temperature for the entire month, at the top of the list. All right, so then welcome to July. What possibly could July have in store for us? I thought it was interesting. There is a climatologist who incidentally lives in Alaska, of all places, but has family here in Austin. So Brian Brett Schneider sent me this map and said, hey, you ready for this? And I went, nope, not ready. But the fine print on this is Central Texas is in the orange to red, which corresponds to anywhere from a 90 to 95% chance of July being warmer than June in orange. And for areas in the northern part of Central Texas, that's up to a 98% chance that July will be warmer than June. So climatologically speaking, you would expect that July would be warmer than June. But as warm as our June has been, what could that possibly mean for July? And then the statistically hottest month of the year is August. So we still have 2 months of potentially ridiculous heat. And July does look like it is going to start with a bang. 4th of July pun intended. Let's see. Stephanie says hello. Laura says, wasn't December the hottest on record too? I believe so. I think there have been several, like within the last 6 months that we've had. Did you hear somebody give you a shout out? Is that why you wanted to come say hi again? I know. Everyone loves it when they can see you. What's this in your hair? I kid you not, he's been rolling around in the grass. And Ewok got a bath the other day. I don't think you got a bath though. Okay, so let's talk about what to expect outside right now. Frostbank Tower, as seen from our Chase Bank cam, 81 degrees after that 99-degree high. And as we track the tropics, Laura says Brian has an amazing last name. I like it too. Patricia says keep the puppy boys up so the fireworks don't scare them. So surprisingly, I don't know how Ewok will be because we haven't had him through a 4th of July. Skippy's surprisingly okay. But then again, we can't really hear, unless there are illegal fireworks that are being shot off by neighbors. We can't really hear any displays from our house, so that might be why I haven't noticed him having any real issues with it. But yeah, it's so true. So many pets are petrified of the loud noises from fireworks. All right, so look at this. Meh. We did not see any rain from the system in the last 24 hours. However, let me take you down south and east, where Bob is currently tracking the conditions. Galveston actually had some decent rain earlier in the day. I'll go ahead and query some of these totals so you can see mainly offshore is where the heaviest rain thus far has been. But this is radar estimated rainfall. And honestly, it's very hugging the coast type rain, but there are indications that maybe just offshore by, let's see, I'll grab a measuring stick. As the crow flies, about 30 miles offshore, 10.5 inches of rain, radar estimated, having fallen. Maybe that's over some of the oil rigs out there in the middle of the Gulf. But yeah, there's already been some decent rain across portions of Galveston, Galveston Bay, and off northward to the east side of Houston. Now, what's to be expected from here on out? Well, the Hurricane Center did have a 40% chance of development on this system, Invest 95L in the Gulf, and they dropped it down to a 30% chance. I fully expect it will drop even more because it just doesn't have the pieces that you need in order to get a, tropical system in here. So yes, it will be a tropical low, and it is a tropical wave, but it will probably not be named or become a depression. Let's see, Ricardo says, no way. Ricardo's going to Houston tomorrow. Oh, are you really? So Houston proper, as long as you're in town, like the heaviest rain will probably be south and east of I-10, the way things are looking, or along I-10 to the south and east of Houston. But yeah, if you are heading that way, you will probably be getting at least a little bit of rain. All right, so winds are at 35. Movement is north-northwest at 5. And if I were to ask you, where is the center of circulation of this thing? You might actually say, well, wait, I think I see some spin up in Louisiana. I mean, you can actually kind of note like what could be a little bit of spin, but incidentally enough, easy for me to say, that's actually not the center of this broad low. In fact, the low is still pretty far down the middle Texas coast, but the rain and the cloud cover associated with this broad, weak low is displaced quite a bit to the north and east. So end result, because there's no good consolidation and no really well-defined center of circulation, it's just a tropical wave as opposed to anything stronger. As we've talked about, and we will continue to with any type of tropical system, typically you'll take the track, and I'm just going to average the track out with that line there. And if you're east of the track, that's what we typically will call the dirty side of the storm. And this is where you would be most likely to, pardon my really bad type, get the heaviest of the rain. That's really bad, isn't it? On the west side of the storm, that's going to be the hot and dry side. So Austin, we are on the hot and dry side of the storm. Okay, so let's take a closer look at what that means. I have not looked at the latest computer models, the ones that come in around 10, 11 o'clock, because I got home, I caught up with my family. So I haven't looked at the latest, the late breaking computer models that have come in like right now. But I will tell you for Saturday, well, Friday into Saturday, there will be a potential of maybe some flooding in southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. And then as we look our way into Saturday, ignore these titles because anytime it's after midnight, those don't plot correctly. A low chance of rain heavy enough to cause some minor flooding, again, to our east. So here we are, high and for the most part dry, only looking at maybe an isolated shower or storm. All right, so this is the latest computer model, and things that I'm noticing is earlier Galveston's estimation was about 7 inches. Looks like it has dropped to 6. Earlier Cameron's estimate was over 12 inches. It is down to 9.8. Don't get me wrong, that's still a lot of rain. Austin and Fredericksburg, down to 0. However, let's go ahead and zoom in just a little bit because there are some little pockets showing up on the latest computer models in the blue, which if you're lucky, maybe Georgetown, maybe Round Rock, maybe parts of Burnett County, that could, in a few pockets, pick up somewhere in the neighborhood of a ½ inch to an inch, maybe more of rain. This is going to be highly dependent on little spins along the outer periphery. What a mess. I'm not a football analyst. But on the outer periphery of the circulation of that weak low that might pivot in from northeast to southwest and possibly bring a little bit of rain. But do not get your hopes too high. Here's another big change. At one point, it looked like Houston had a shot at some very significant rainfall. And in fact, areas like Harris County and points southeast toward the coast are under a flood watch. But look at this. Latest computer model has a very scant amount of rain in Houston compared to the ½ inch plus that could fall over Galveston. So it all kind of depends on where the bands, if you will, around that tropical low set up. But as you can see, Houston proper, the computer model is only giving about 3/4 inch, but there are some pockets being indicated on the north and northwest side of town that might be in that 1.5 to 2 inch range. So Ricardo, there you go. That's what you need to know. Heaviest rain more than likely will hug the coast. You say, thanks, you are so welcome, my pleasure. Bob says a nice mesoscale convective vortex set up here earlier today. Yeah, when we talked about that little meso or mid-level spin, that's what brought the rain earlier into places like Galveston. Let's see, Bob says, pardon me, yesterday. Yeah, we know. It's always tricky anytime it's past midnight. So today in our world is still Thursday, and tomorrow in our world is Friday. All right, so I figured the easiest way for you to kind of get an idea of what we're going to see, which is little to nothing, versus what the coast will see, is to show it all in one picture. Okay, so the Austin forecast for Friday, 99 degrees with a 20% rain chance. In the morning, we're going to wake up. We may have some patchy cloud cover with temperatures in the 70s. Meanwhile, by sunrise along the coast, I'm fully expecting that it might be raining, possibly quite heavily. Okay, fast forward to 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. Not quite as much going on, but I do think that during the heat of the day on Friday, we may start to see areas of isolated shower and storm activity develop. And it might actually favor the hill country, to be honest with you. So here's a snapshot of what 4 o'clock might look like. I do think that we may see So little cloud cover in Austin that we're still right around 99 degrees. So just be ready for that. And if you do happen to luck out and get under one of those downpours, that might temporarily cool things down and bring you a little bit of rain, but don't count on a whole lot. All right, let's keep going. Now let's look ahead to Saturday. Waking up Saturday morning, it is going to be warm. It will be muggy. Temperatures in the 70s, dew points in the 70s. That would be air you can wear. And by Saturday, the heaviest rain will have pivoted all the way to Beaumont, Port Arthur, and on into Lake Charles, Louisiana, while even Houston, Saturday morning, is looking dry. All right, let's go through time to Saturday afternoon. So the broad circulation and the fact that we'll have quite a bit of warmth during the afternoon may be just enough to pivot in a few more isolated to widely scattered, we'll call them tropical downpours, which means you might get a quick ½ inch at your house and a ½ mile down the street, they're dry and get nothing. So that's the type of situation we're going to see. No steady, heavy, widespread rain, but spotty, locally heavy downpours possible. And I think, again, Saturday we may be tiptoeing right close to the edge of triple digits, but not quite there. Finally, by the time we reach Sunday, we are going to be steamy and hot and sunny, with the rain mainly shifting off east of Texas. 100 degrees, by the way, for Sunday, and we're going to follow that up with 101 on July 4th, Monday. All right, rainfall forecast comparison. I believe this does include the latest new computer model data from the GFS computer model. That's the American computer model. The European computer model takes a little while longer to update. So either way, none of these numbers is encouraging. If you're lucky, maybe a ½ inch of rain. Many locations will see far less than that. Bob says, I'm out. Well, take care. Have a great night. Be safe out there. I hope it's not as boring as you think. I'm hoping that you get some good video. All right, hour by hour forecast as we work our way through Friday. Dry in the morning, low chance of an isolated shower storm in the afternoon. High temperature 99 degrees. The record's 104, set back in 2018. And then we advance through time. Sunday 100, Monday 101. Happy Independence Day. Tuesday 102. So I do not anticipate daily records, but it is going to be mighty toasty. Elsewhere in the tropics. At one point, this system way out in the central Atlantic, which is now approaching the Windward and Leeward Islands, did have a 30% chance of development. It has dropped down to a 10% chance. We already talked about the current Invest 95L Gulf system. At one point, it had a 40% chance of development. It's down to 30% and will probably drop even more. Off in the Pacific, we have a 60% development chance of this system, which had previously been a 70% chance. And then we have potential tropical cyclone number 2, which is future Bonnie, if it finally does develop. So currently, it is sitting in the middle of the Southwest Caribbean. It is uninhibited, which means it doesn't have any Saharan dust. It doesn't have any land interaction. It doesn't really have any wind shear. And the temperatures in the water there are sufficient for development of a tropical system. So it is anticipated to be upgraded finally to Bonnie at some point on Friday. Worth noting, its winds are currently at 40 miles per hour. The threshold for a tropical storm is 39 or higher, so it's already got the winds. It just needs to have that well-defined center of circulation and just be organized enough. So, as we take a look at the track, it has been on a westerly path, and there's nothing to think that that would change. So it's likely to push from the Caribbean right near the Costa Rica-Nicaragua border, and then transcend to the other side into the Pacific. And as long as the system doesn't lose its tropical characteristics, it will not be renamed. So even though it may emerge and become a hurricane on the Pacific side, it would still be Bonnie. If for some reason the mountainous terrain over Central America were enough to tear it apart and dissipate the system into tropical remnants, and then it reemerged into the Pacific, then it would get the name Darby, which is the next named storm for the Pacific side, assuming that the one with the 60% development doesn't beat it to it. As for the names for the Atlantic hurricane season, we've had Alex so far with 1 month in under our belts in hurricane season. Second storm will be Bonnie. Fun, interesting fact. A year ago, we had already had 4 named storms by this point in the season. Ricardo says current Pacific development might bring us some rain. One would hope. Sometimes we do get Pacific systems that will help us out. And the monsoon has been kicking things up, bringing some rain into portions of the desert Southwest already. All right. You say Clyde. So here we take a look at a couple quick computer models just to kind of confirm for you that we're going to just be getting kind of sloppy leftovers as far as the rainfall potential, with the heaviest off to our east. But as we head into late Saturday, maybe a stray shower. And then after that, Sunday, we're hot and dry. Monday, Tuesday, on into Wednesday, kind of the beat goes on. It's unlikely after we get through the weekend that we see rainfall. Ricardo says, no worries. And now let's look at a different computer model. The first one was the European. Now this is the GFS, which is the American computer model. Similar idea with the heaviest rain off to the east. Then we hit Sunday and we are dry. And then we hit Monday, 4th of July, and we are hot and dry. Those purple colors, yeah, that's steamy hot. Yuck. And it's going to be humid too, with basically dew points in the 70s, just air you can wear. Tuesday, 102. Wednesday, 102. There are those daunting purples again. And then Wednesday, 102. Put all the pieces together, and I guess we're going to be left saying July basically picks up where June left off. Hot, mainly dry, hopefully not record-setting, but hey, we've got 2 months that we've done that back-to-back. Could it be a trifecta? Could it be a three-peat? We shall see. All right, you guys are all caught up. Thanks so much for checking in, as always. You can also look in on your forecast anytime, cbsaustin.com/weather. And you guys have a great holiday weekend, 4th of July. And take care. Thanks for tuning in.